Hey guys, what's up? It's Rygar the Destroyer, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Spartan Mark VII from the Spartan Collection. And before we get started, if you like this video and you'd like to see more like it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free and it really helps out the channel. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on to this guy's packaging. As you can see here on the front, nice huge window for the figure itself, and then over on the side it's kind of got this corner cut off, and that's where they display all of this figure's accessories, which I do like. Over on this side it's mostly blank, but it does have a figure of the Spartan right here, and then on the other side, like I said, it's mostly window. On the back they do have a figure or an image of the figure itself, and then on the bottom they've got the other figures that are available in this wave. So this figure itself stands at, let's see here, about 7 inches tall, and from what I understand, that's about 1/12 scale. So this guy is pretty much in scale with like your Star Wars Black Series figures or your Marvel Legends type figures, which I do really like. And he does come with a bunch of accessories. The first ones are technically already on the figure in the package, and those are his trigger finger hands. So it's nice that they do include one for each side, which I do like. Up next, we do have 2 fist hands, one for each side. Nicely sculpted on there. Then we've also got 2, I would call them like loose grip hands or relaxed hands. Again, nicely sculpted. And then we've got 1 high five hand. If it'll focus on it, there we go, which I like. And then we have got his rifle here. Nicely painted on this one. Obviously, you know, there always could be more paint, but this does serve its purpose. And there is a peg hole on this. And as far as I understand, there are these removable panels. I think there's one here on his back, and then there's one on each side of his leg that you flip around, and there's a peg there. Now, unfortunately, I have been completely unable to get these off of the figure, no matter how hard I try. So maybe down in the comment section, you guys can let me know, have you been able to get these off? Because I sure have not been able to. And he does have one more accessory here, and it's this other, I'm not sure what it is, maybe some sort of pistol. And again, it does have a peg hole on there, and it is nicely sculpted and painted again. So as far as this figure's articulation goes, it is pretty well done overall. There are some problems which we'll talk about, but overall I think it's pretty decent. So here in the head, it feels like either a single or double ball peg. Really excellent range of motion there, pretty far up, very far down, and then everything pretty much in between, which I really like. Now, while we're here, I will point out the awesome vacuum chrome visor, which just looks amazing. It's very reflective in person, which I do like. He does have, we'll call them butterfly joints, fairly limited range of motion on those, but they are very effective for helping pose the figure. Now, as you can hear on this side, there's a ratchet, and this one is nice and tight, and then on this side, not much. So this side is a little loose, and that is, from what I understand, kind of a common problem on this figure. As you can see, the shoulder itself too, it's a little floppy. It's not floppy enough that I would say, like, don't buy this figure, but it is something definitely to consider when you're purchasing them. Now, on top of that butterfly joint, he does have a ball hinge, excellent range of motion there, and they do swivel 360. He does have a bicep swivel tucked underneath there. Nice range of motion. It does bind a little bit between the shoulder pad and the chest, but not enough to prevent posing, in my opinion. He has double jointed elbows with an excellent range of motion, really, for how bulky this guy is. And then at his wrist, he's got a hinge and a swivel, which is really nice. Now, in the chest, he has what I assume is a single ball peg here in the top of the torso, but it's almost completely useless. As far as I've seen, you can't really get much range of motion out of that. And then down in the waist, there's, I think it's a swivel. It could also be a single ball peg, but it acts almost as a swivel. Decent range of motion on that bottom one, but not on the top one there. Now at the hips, he has T-jointed hips, excellent range of motion here. Very good for a figure of this size, and then they do kick forward a reasonable amount, not too far back, but overall very, very well done. He has a thigh swivel that's very well hidden in there. You can almost not see it. Then he's got double jointed knees. As you can see, excellent range of motion there. Maybe a little bit ugly when you get it all completely posed, but if you do a couple clicks on each knee, it looks very natural, which I do like. Then at the ankle, we have a hinge there, and then an ankle rocker in the actual ankle itself. And then at the toe, there is a toe hinge. Now, as you can see on this foot here, it's fairly loose, and that's kind of a problem with this figure and the other figure that I have from the line so far. So overall, what do I think of this guy? I think that there are some problems that need to be addressed in the future. Obviously, loose joints are always going to be very irritating on a figure like this. The paintwork isn't the best. I mean, obviously it's not terrible, but it's not the cleanest in all areas, especially like on the helmet and down on the ankles. As you can see, there's some bleed through from the plastic into the paint. So that's not great. The articulation has some loose spots, not great. And then there are a couple spots where there's a little bit of flashing from the mold. But overall, I absolutely love this figure. This is the first attempt. Obviously, it's the first wave from, I believe it's Wicked Cool Toys. And I think that they did an excellent job on this figure. I think despite the problems, when you get this figure in hand, it feels great. It's a chunky toy. There's a whole bunch of accessories that you can use, and I think it kind of combines a lot of the things that I like from each of the Halo waves that have come before it. Obviously, the Vacuchrome helmet from the Joyride days, the kind of better overall sculpt work from the McFarlane days, and the kind of improved articulation, and then the more modern style of articulation that we saw in the Mattel line. So overall, I absolutely love this figure, and I think if you can look past the problems that it has, it should definitely be in every Halo collector's collection. So anyway, if you guys have any comments or questions, please leave those down in the comment section below, and I guess I'll see you guys later.